Hey guys, so I've been working at Dollar General for 1 month now, and in honor of that 1 month, I'm going to tell you all stories. Some people are mean, guys. That's one thing, okay? So in honor of my 1 month of working at Dollar General, I'm going to be telling you all of my stories from that 1 month period. That's going to be the funny ones, the weird ones, the mean ones, scary ones. So if I were you, I'd stay till the end, because that's where I'm gonna say like the meaner people, and then those are gonna be like the really good stories. So yeah, be prepared. If I were you, I'd grab some popcorn, okay? Because this is gonna be a wild ride. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the funniest ones first, okay? But they're kind of weird too. So I had this one man come through the line. I rung him up for his stuff. I think the total was like, I'm gonna just say it was like $5.25, okay? So I say your total is $5.25, $5.15, whatever. And he said, "Is that all I owe you?" I said, "Yes, sir, it is." He said, "That's the cheapest I've ever had to pay a woman." And I was like,
what?
So that was one of the weirder ones, but it's funny now, but like still I was freaked out once he told me that, because I was like, what? So I had this man come in the other day. He was like this older man, and he was bringing in a return. He was like, "My wife got the wrong one," whatever. I'm gonna say he was about 70, okay? This is important. I was like, "Okay, we can return this for you." And he said, "Wow, you're really tall." I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "You could be a model." And I was like, "Thank you." I didn't really know how to respond to that, so I was just like, "Thank you." And he said, "You got a boyfriend?" And I was just like, why the heck is he asking this stuff? So then I was just kind of like, not gonna really say anything to this. And he got his return, he got it back. Then he asked me to use the if he could use the restroom. So at Dollar General, you have to ask for the key. So I gave him the key to go to the restroom, and he comes back and he's just like, "You're a beautiful girl." And I was just like, weird. So that man left, and let's see. There's so many stories. We had this like family come through. It was a mom and 2 girls, and I checked them out and everything was fine. And then I was about to go stock shelves and stuff, and the mom comes back with the little girl and says, "She has to tell you something." I was like, "Well, what is it?" And she said, "Tell her what you did." And I was like, oh my gosh, this kid just stole something from the store. So this little girl had stolen like a piece of candy and walked out the door with it. But thank you to that mom, because that mom taught that little girl a lesson, and she knows not to steal anymore. I had this one guy come in, and he's probably like 40 or something, and I was standing behind the cash register, and this is how he talks, okay? I'm gonna try to sound like him. He was like, "You're a very tall girl." And I was like, "Yes, sir." He said, "Very tall. I don't know how tall, but you're very tall." And I was just like, thank you. I didn't know what to say to it, and I'm not an awkward person. It's just like, some people just creep me out, okay? I don't know why, they just do. Oh, and one time I was doing an exchange for somebody, okay? And this other guy comes through the line, he goes, "Oh, you can't do exchanges on condoms, can you?" And I was like, that wasn't even funny. I was like, why? I was like, why? So stupid. Okay, so now to like some of the meaner people. I was putting stuff in this lady's bag one day, and she had 2 liters, okay? And 2 liters, you're supposed to put 2 in a bag, and then you're supposed to double bag it for them. So I put 1 2-liter in the bag, and then I put the other 2-liter in the bag. The lady was like, no, that's not gonna work. And she grabbed the 2-liter out of the bag that I was just working on and put it in another one. And I was like, "I'm so sorry, ma'am." So I was just like, whatever. I apologize. Sorry that I didn't make that for you. A lady came in with a dog one time. and I got to pet the dog. It was a really sweet dog. Yeah, that was off topic, but I wanted to say that. Here's the last story. The one that you have all been waiting for, okay? This just happened recently too, so it's still kind of like fresh on my memory. The other night I was working, and I have to work the register, and I also have to like stock shelves and recover shelves, and that means just like making sure the aisles look full, like with food and drinks and stuff. So I always make sure that I have everybody taken care of on the register. So when I'm recovering, I recover, and then I go up to the front, look and see if anybody's there. If no one is, then I go back to working. The other night I was recovering the shelves, Sundrop actually. So I was recovering the Sundrop shelves, okay? And I walked up front to see if anybody was there. No one was there, okay? So I walk back and I start working on the shelves again. Out of nowhere, I heard someone kind of start yelling, and I didn't really know why. So I look over, and this lady has this something in her hand, and she's like head bobbing. She's like, hello, I'm ready. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I walk up there. She had probably been waiting 30 seconds, okay? I walk up there, and I always usually ask, hey, how are you? How is your day going? But I didn't ask because I could already tell that she was upset. She was mad for some reason. So I didn't, you know, ask that because I thought that would have been too much. And earlier that day, we had Disney music playing in the store, okay? One of my coworkers turned on her Disney music, and that was what was playing throughout the store that day, okay? That's also very important to know in this story. So I walk up front, and she said, why are y'all listening to Disney music? It brainwashes you. There's actually real artists out there instead of playing this trash. And I was just like, no, Disney music's cool. And I was like literally like that. I was like, no, Disney music's cool. And she said, no, it's not. So I was just like, oh, okay. So I did not mess with it anymore. I rung her up for her medicine, put it in the bag. I was like, would you like your receipt? And she said yes. So then I gave her a receipt. Thought I was finished with her. She goes, oh wait, I forgot a Sundrop. So she goes and gets a little bottle of Sundrop, brings it back to the register, and she goes, does corporate make y'all play this? And I was like, no ma'am, this is just something that we had playing on in the store. And then she was like, oh, okay. And she was like, she seemed sorry for the way that she was acting because she was being very, very rude. So that happened and everything, and she just kind of kept mumbling stuff under her breath, kind of being rude. And I got her receipt for that one. I said, would you like your receipt for that one too? Because we have to ask if they would like their receipt, because I can't tell y'all how many receipts that I have had to throw away. Like, I've had to throw away so many receipts because a lot of people don't want them. And then sometimes people want their first receipt, but they don't want their second. So I always ask because that is what I'm supposed to do. I was like, would you like that one too? And she goes, that one too? I don't know what you're trying to say. She jerks the receipt out of my hand, walks out the door. I thought I was done. I thought I was done with her because she was being so mean. So she walks out the door. She turns around, points her finger at me and says, you need to grow the F up. And I was like, what? What did I do? I was like, I was nothing but nice. I smiled. I was very friendly. I was very polite. I used my manners and everything else. But I don't know what was wrong with this lady, but she just had a really bad day, I guess, and needed to take it out on someone. So, yeah. She was by far the meanest customer I've had so far. And it just kind of like broke my heart how she was to me. And I was like, all I can do is pray for her, but still, she was so mean. It didn't settle well with me. That same night though, we had closed the store. We had announced it, closed the store. And about 5 minutes in, I was going back to the back to do my work, and there was somebody still in the store. There was somebody still in the store once it had closed. And once, yeah. So I had to get her out and everything, and then we continued to do our work. 30 minutes in, we saw a car just sitting out in the parking lot. Yeah. Okay, might not seem like a big deal, but it's like, I honestly thought it was that lady waiting on me because I thought she had some kind of beef with me. I'd never met this lady before, so I don't know who she is. And so my coworker called the dispatch because once you close the store and there's people outside waiting, it's almost like they're waiting for you to come out, or they're waiting to rob the store or something like that. So we went ahead and called the police, like, you know, you're supposed to in that situation and everything, and they showed up, talked to that lady, she left, but I was like, it just seems like things are just all going wrong tonight. So yeah, but got out of work at like 11 o'clock p.m. I don't know, that was a rough day. So I hope nothing happens tonight. If so, that's just gonna freak me out, because those of you who know me know I think of the worst possible scenario. That way I am prepared for when that situation happens, and it's actually helped me in a lot of areas. Like when I think something's wrong, it really is, and stuff like that. So I just think of different things that might possibly happen, and that way I'm prepared, and then I know what to do. So yeah, I guess it's not like a good thing, but it's not a bad thing, but it stresses me out too. So yeah. Well, that is my 1 month of stories. Those are the main ones that I've had since I've been working there. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And while you're here, stop. While you're here, stop. Subscribe. Subscribe to me. Y'all can make my dreams come true to get more. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.